Hey there, welcome back. This is Zephyr with Diablo 2 Distilled. Little update before the actual gameplay again. And so here's where we're at with a bunch of changes to the game. I do think I tested this. I have to check my notes, but I do believe I tested this, and melee events are not being affected by these. We've got the attack rating adjustment. We've got a bunch of other stuff here. Block works on all missile types that I want it to. So anything that uses the attack rating formula also uses block, which means that Fireball, which now uses the attack rating system, because it uses that, it also uses the block system. So anything that syncs up there, I just made it read that column, and it seems to work. This is just a table in the game. So the major change that has happened since last recording, the last recording did not show this. It showed a preliminary version that I did in assembly, just some basic number changes and jumps and things. But this is a full rewrite here that I've done. And so hit recover, your stagger chance has been completely reworked at the code level. Let's talk about it. And I'll try to be as brief as possible in these intros as I can while being as thorough as possible as well. So in the base game, there are a lot of different checks, and I wanted to split them apart specifically from health. So health is commonly a dependent stat because, well, every game typically has some form of health. So in the case of, say, Mario, he can't fling fireballs unless he first has a mushroom. Basic health check. And if you get hit, you lose the fireballs, but you keep the mushroom until you get hit a second time. So part of that is I wanted to remove this dependency here. I also wanted to, well, at least adjust it, not remove it. I also wanted to remove the tops and bottoms, kind of normalize it towards the middle, and make it so that nothing is really guaranteed. In Diablo, a lot of it is chance. A lot of it is randomness. So it's armor checks, it's hit checks, it's chance to crit, it's whatever. And in the future, I probably will allow like 100% chance to crit or 95% chance to crit or something like that as a change to the game's normal crit chance stuff. But anyways, in vanilla, let's talk about vanilla first. Ranged physical attacks use a 1/8 divisor. This is bows, crossbows, throwing knives, throwing axes, that kind of stuff. But melee attacks used a 1/16 divisor. So 1/16 of your max health, which is 6.25%. So if it's below that, melee attacks do not ever stagger unless they are some kind of special effect, such as like a big guy with a big hammer or something. And they've been coded that way. But all normal melee attacks use this, where if you have 6.25% or more of your max HP taken away by random fallen number 7, you have a 37% chance to be staggered. This is where hit recovery, of course, comes in, which reduces the stagger duration, but not the stagger chance. So your stagger chance was entirely related to basically don't get hit and don't get hit by anything melee. This then went up in increments. It would check different increments. So it actually would check this first, I think this second, this third, and this probably first, actually, somewhere in here. But it was something like downward, largest to smallest. And this is just 4 times, 2 times, 1 time, and anything below 1 time, the divisor here. So you could get 100% stagger chance on enemies if your damage was high enough. And they could get 100% stagger chance against you if it was high enough. But even if it wasn't, 75% chance was pretty big. So, and it didn't take much. It didn't take much to get there. So I wanted to reduce this. I wanted to change it, and I wanted to remove this 0 point. So instead, what I've got is this. So first of all, let's talk about these numbers, and I'll go back up to the specific damage stuff. Ranged physical attacks have a 5% chance to stagger on any hit that deals damage now. So similar to here, they are half. But it's any hit. It's not a percentage of health. It is any hit. So what does it mean? It means that armor is more valuable. It means block potentially is also more valuable. And the reason I cut it in half is because you can get hit by more arrows due to the fact that arrows can cover more ground, or quill beasts or whatever else, physical ranged attacks. They can be quite a bit farther away from you, which makes it harder to get up on them. It also means that it nerfs ranged classes such as the Amazon, throwing a javelin or shooting a bow, causing a stagger. It means they're going to stagger less with their abilities comparatively, which is how the base game kind of already was. So melee attacks then do 10% chance to stagger, and then spell missiles were part of the default. They use hit class 0, so they're just default hit class. Hit class is used almost entirely for sound effects. And then, for whatever reason, they also put them into the stagger hit recovery calculations. So any hit now, ignoring the last 3 there, any hit now is 50% chance to stagger, not 100%, and not gradient. Just if you hit that 20% HP threshold, then it has a 50% chance to stagger. So if Diablo himself comes up and smacks you for half of your health, it's still only a 50% chance to stagger. You could get lucky. You don't know. And I like that. I like the unknown. Could it be 60%? Maybe. Maybe it could be 60%. So it's a little more guaranteed than less guaranteed. But so these numbers might be preliminary. We'll have to feel how they play out, that kind of stuff. But for right now, this is the 20% mark. What this means is that if you're playing a high health character, for player-based usage of this, if you're playing a high health character like the druid in like werebear form, you still need armor to negate these hits. If you're taking a bunch of melee hits, even if they do 1 damage, they're still going to roll this chance. And so if you have 10 little dudes and they're all just stabbing you over and over, you still have a chance to get stunned every second. 10% by 10 dudes is almost guaranteed. Obviously, the math is not quite additive there. But on average, you're going to get stunned pretty often there. So even if it's small dudes, you're going to get staggered, but you can effectively still get this to negate the higher end chance. It'll probably be a little bit harder than the base game since health and mana are a lot lower than the base game. So we've removed part of the dependency here, but not all of it. And this is a threshold-based design. In other words, you can hit this threshold and then forget about it, as long as you know what the threshold is. I use threshold design as a reference to things like Dark Souls. You hit 40 points into a stat, and you're most likely going to want to go into another stat because that's the soft cap. You can go higher if you really want to, but that's the stat that, like, there's a line there. It's a line in the sand that says, hey, maybe don't. And so here, there's a line in the sand that says, hey, maybe don't. It does mean that the game is more mathematically solvable, but if you're playing Diablo, you probably already knew that. So that's stagger. That's where it's at. This might get changed to 4% and 8%. I have no idea how this is going to play out. And I might be able to get some other tooling built in the long run. I probably won't, but I could potentially get some tooling in here to check, like, is this fireball or is this firebolt? And maybe fireball has a higher chance to stagger than firebolt. But right now that is relatively complex because I'm still new to the Diablo 2 template tool and whatnot. And I would have to pull in things like extra code so that I can grab things like the spell name or the missile name, which is not currently accessible at the point where this is calculated. So it would have to be kind of passed down from function to function or hidden inside of a struct that otherwise is has like an unused value somewhere. Anyway, so that's that. About 10 minutes there. We will get into actually playing the game. Let's do this. There we go. So last episode, I was kind of struggling with the speed at which I was going through the... where's the button I'm looking for? Use hotkeys like differently in every game I play. I'm going to sell both of those. We don't have anything in here. A bone snap mall. It's cute. It's ethereal too. Look at that damage. As a note, I want to do something different with ethereal weapons eventually. Probably aren't going to give them double durability anymore, so this should probably just have 32 durability, or whatever I land on for weapons, since weapons are different. But actually, I want to keep this just for an example. I'm just going to keep this. It's a great example of how unique weapons in Diablo 2 were just super fun. And Diablo 1 were just as fun. Some of them weren't as good, but 40% chance to do 20% of the max health of a target, something like that. Crushing blow then, effectively, as long as they don't have physical resistance, which I'm most likely going to be removing anyways. If they don't have physical resistance, crushing blow will then be doing a guaranteed stagger, or not guaranteed stagger, but a pretty high, that threshold of stagger. 245% extra damage, 100% damage to undead. So you walk in against an undead, you swing it against a skeleton, and they will crumble very heavily, very quickly. And then, of course, it has some resistances in there, cold and fire, which, again, makes it pretty good. Jamela, your noise is annoying. I'm sorry. I have to walk away from you. What do we got? What do we got? Magic damage reduced by 4. Magic damage reduced by 4. Mana per kill. Okay. So the River of Flame, we'll just go straight through this. That is not the spell I thought I was using. Oh, you know what? I don't have any potions. Let's solve that. That was a problem last episode. Do I buy them from this guy or the other person? I am from the other person. Stamina potion, don't care. Oh yeah, I was talking about ethereal items. Notice how this maul is 30 to 45 for 30 to 43 damage. This one has 6 max damage. The bone snap has like 200 and something damage. It's a little excessive. Just a tad. Just a tad excessive. Oh, I also increased the cost of some of the lower potions. We'll figure that out in a bit, but I'd like to make it so that ethereal items have a kind of more fair number. Right now, you get an ethereal item and it has bonus damage of 50% or bonus armor of 50%. In the base game, it had half durability. And man, these guys just don't die. And there we go. In the base game, they had half durability, but other than that, the idea, I think, was that you're supposed to Zod them or, be lucky and have like an item that's unique or... But I want them to work a little bit differently, and so one of the things I'd love to see is giving them stats that otherwise don't make sense. Maybe not don't make sense, but make a little bit different sense. So like, if you find an ethereal staff, maybe it has a chance to have bonus damage, maybe not 50%, And I wouldn't want it to be multiplicative. Right now it's multiplicative. Somebody in there has multi-strike. Oh, good to know that absorbs my arrows, but I do too much damage, so too bad for them. No, that's not what I wanted to put there. I doubt this is useful. It causes monsters to flee an attack rating. It does do more damage, but not really. Probably the same attack speed too, so that's not really that different. But maybe you could find a staff with like +1 to all skills because it's ethereal. I don't know, something like that. Different modifiers, but especially if it's a low level item, maybe have it run through a calculation to see, you know, is this just too crazy? Is there a threshold where it's like 30% or 50%? Maybe it's additive, which I would love personally to see it be more additive. So if you get a ethereal unique, the uniques commonly have, you know, 100% bonus damage. Oh my gosh. What hit me? But, you know, they already have like 100% bonus damage. So, you know, if it wasn't base damage, then maybe we could keep it as it is. Which means that as you get farther in the game, and ethereals are less and less valuable, but they're still good. You know, 50% damage on a weapon that, you know, already has 100% damage is still good. It's just less good. The ads are so annoying. Melt, please. Hey, a circlet. That's ethereal. So there's another example. Circlets being ethereal. You're almost never going to want that. I don't know why you'd ever want extra armor on a circlet, really. Because you're not wearing circlets for armor. Another thing that could be interesting is having ethereal items require less strength or dexterity to use instead of just huge bonus damage. And maybe they would have a combination of all of these effects. They're just kind of meant to be this ghostly, weird item that can't be repaired. Maybe something else I could do, it would be a little bit harder, maybe, is have it so... Can't see these dudes standing on top of me because the fire is too tall. I could maybe even have... I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Have it so that ethereal items maybe have an increased magic value. So magic level is what determines like your affixes. And so it could be ethereal, but it also gains, you know, +2 levels of magic or +3 levels of magic. Depends probably on point in the game that it is also found. +2 in the early game would be absolutely insane. +2 in the late game is probably not that great because, well, you've already hit your thresholds for what can spawn. So notice how I'm staggering him like all the time. It's because I do enough damage to stagger him all the time. So it might be that I want to make missiles just not stagger. I don't know. We'll have to test this out. But yeah, it's just constantly staggering this dude because I do just enough damage. Just enough damage to be annoying. What would my chances be if I was playing a normal game and I was hitting these guys, though? If I'm staggering that often with regular bolts, seems higher than 50%, though. Burn. Okay, let's go get more mana potions. See how detrimental these prices are. Okay, Jamel has a 10% cost reduction. I don't like that. I will probably remove that. A bunch of shops have a 10 or 15 or 20% kind of cost reduction based on you completing a quest. And so just like completing that first quest, Charcy's quest, for example, does it. And so there's a price before and a price after. And I will probably remove that just entirely. It's cute. But I don't like it being on, say, potions, because it means that you're constantly able to manipulate the price of potions outside of what I'm trying to get you to pay. I'm trying to increase the cost of potions, not decrease it. I decreased the price of gems a little bit. So a default gem is 500. A perfect gem is 10,000 instead of like 35,000. Which means they're going to be worth less to sell, but I'm trying to flatten gold in general. I haven't gotten very far with it, but my goal is to flatten gold a bit. These guys are stealing my mana. Probably see what they're actually doing for damage to mana. Come on. Do it. Doesn't seem to be stealing any mana. I don't see anything happening. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna say that dagger seems really high, but if I were to go back to this page here, just me, not all, yeah. There would be a 75% chance to stagger if the damage is greater than or equal to 6% of the max HP. So 6% is still pretty high on a ranged attack. And then anything Oh, no, 25%. Wrong direction. Wrong direction. It would have to be 25%. So 75% on 25% damage, where we're at 50% on 20% damage. It's actually really similar in that context, I think. I am working on slowly a massive stretch goal for myself, and it is the durability update. So it's going to tackle like 3 or 4 different durability systems at once. Since they're all intertwined, I kind of have to write them all at once, and kind of is what it is. But what it should allow me to do is, wow, these guys are super fast. What it should allow me to do is create the durability on bows that I wanted to, and have like direct and complete control through the code for them. I think there's a couple ways to do it, like with some other stuff, but they basically just act like javelins. I don't think I can kill these guys. They're way too fast. Holy crap. Oh, I'm working myself into a corner. I'm dead. There's no way. Okay, that happened. I walked through the side that I didn't previously do. I don't know if I can get to my body from this. Yeah, this is gonna be a mess, and I didn't put up a safety teleport now. What a mess. What an absolute mess. And I haven't even put immunities into normal yet. Last episode, I was talking about putting immunities into everything. And the idea over time is that different things would be immune to different things. So like bugs, these bugs, maybe they're immune to poison, and so you just have to deal with it. We're going more RPG than ARPG, super fun, super fast clearing, you know, gimmicky kind of stuff. Okay, well, this really kind of sucks. Come this way. Please don't kill me. See ya. Bye. Oh gosh, there's more of you. This didn't work out. I hate that I died in like a hallway. This is the worst thing ever. Now I wish I hadn't sold that other bow. Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go buy a bow. Just a very basic bow. You don't sell any. You do sell arrows, I guess. That's something. It's technically the game still requires you to have arrows. What the heck is this? I'm going to have to look at the affixes because that... What is that? That's insane. Okay, we're just gonna not take the 72 damage lightning bow because I feel like I'd be cheating Plus, I'm mostly not using physical damage here. Stand in my flames. Okay. This is just annoying. Give me my corpse. What'd he drop? Oh, a maul. Made a big clank sound there. There's another corpse. I'm overburdened. Oh, there's this huge crossbow in here. Yeah, multi-shot probably would work better with this crossbow. I'm going to go multi-shot. Oh, I forgot to mention poison in the change to stagger. Poison does not allow any stagger anymore. It previously only allowed stagger if it was enough to do the stagger in a single turn, so to say. Come on. So since poison is dealt in one frame at a time, like regeneration, it has to do like those divisors they include the physical damage of the attack, but the divisors, if it was just pure poison, have to do quite a bit of damage in a single frame to equate to those divisors. And so if it's just like poison nova, it would have to do something like 12.5% in a single frame for that stagger chance. Okay, let's put up another town portal. But imagine, especially Hell, not having as many Hell difficulty, having less, fire resistant enemies, and having it be a little bit more balanced. Where there's some fire resistant dudes, but what if it's tons of poison resistant dudes? What if ghosts on average just can't be hit by physical attacks very easily? Stuff like that. In the past, I've kind of adjusted some small things with like skeletons and scimitars being really high chance to not be hit. They have really high armor, basically. But high armor here wouldn't really completely solve it. Because high armor would mean it affects every damage type and things that hit. So for undead, especially ghosts, I will probably start making some of these dudes here physical immunes or something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, what am I going to be dealing with? I don't remember the bosses of this area by name. There's Lord Decize, and then there's some other dudes, but I think only one seal summons the bosses. It's a large shield. And I'd love to have some, this sounds horrible, but I'd love these guys to drain like a percentage of your mana instead of maybe flat values of your mana. I don't know. So it's more detrimental to a mage and less detrimental to a warrior to have their mana drained. This is going to take forever to clear, though. A lot of it's coming down to just enemies scale faster than I am scaling, which is fine. Like, what is their hit chance? They only have a chance, like 32% chance to hit me. What did I find? Okay. Blinkbat's form, faster run walk, faster hit recovery, fire damage, 25 defense, and defense versus missile. So I'm going to say that aside from some of these stats, the others are really bad. This is level 12, though, so 25 defense is absolutely huge at that level. And 50 defense to missile is pretty cool. I actually really enjoy that. A lot of defense like this has not been touched yet, so like that 25 to defense should probably be something closer to like 5 defense, and missile defense should be probably closer to 10 defense. I think it'd be kind of cool to actually have some items that are only for missiles. It's maybe the most dangerous thing I can possibly do here. Let's go into this area. Oh yeah, this mana per kill, I'd like to rate that against the normal lifesteal scaling that enemies have. So if you have, 3 lifesteal per kill and you kill something that has a 50% whatever, then you're only getting half of that because, it's an undead dude that you're not supposed to be able to steal from, or has lower steal values, etc. Okay, we're just gonna go back to town. I need potions. Blinkbat's form is super good if you're, something else. I don't know. Not me. Not me so much. After hit recovery is amazing, but I'd rather just not get hit. It's a level 12 item, and this is like a super good level 15 rare, and rares will commonly outpace a lot of uniques, but they'll also have a lot of negative effects. Like I got lucky on this one, -2 spirit. This one actually has -20 requirements, which is a good negative. Negative value, positive aspect. hit recovery, enhanced defense, and it's ethereal, so I'm getting this double dip of defense, uh, which is one of the reasons why I want to mess with how that is calculated. Note that I'm still getting absolutely horrendously beat up here, so. But when I get the durability change working, it should work for bows, javelins, throwing axes, all of it. I'm going to be really excited to get that because that's been not really a stretch goal, but an impossible dream at this point for a long time, like 8 years, something like that. Turun, 1 mana per kill. Note that I don't have any sockets on anything. That sucks. Here goes nothing. I don't even know if I have a teleport up. Well, let's put one up, even if it's in the worst place possible. I did touch it, right? I touched the seal. I did not touch the seal. Yep. That'll do it. That'll make it not work. You gotta press the button to turn the light on. And they don't like when you press the button. They like to beat you with sticks. Gothic shield, chain gloves. Okay, not good for defense. Attack rating and extra gold. And it also has extra gold, and it has extra strength, and not really that great. This, who is this? Eisenhart's. I'm like, it's not Saigon's. That is, okay. That is not how that should work. But anyways, I haven't removed defense from shields, so that shield is probably completely broken in the current game. There's just so many little things that I have to write down and remember and then prioritize, and a lot of low-hanging fruit, like just going through and messing with some uniques and armors and stuff, but the chances that I find any given specific unique is not very high, so I have to rate that against the time of, doing a global change, which is, way more interesting as well. To me is, doing some code work and learning how like some of that works. Oh yeah, I could also rate mana per kill down for minions. So like maybe a fallen is worth less, and a shaman is worth the normal amount or something. Bosses, I want to make bosses like worth 2 or 3 times the value. So like you go up against, I don't know, Blightbart the Foul or something, and I don't, Pindle Skin, maybe Pindle Skin is worth, the 2 mana per kill, he's worth, 8 mana per kill. Just kind of fill you back up. That'd be the same with like health per kill. Can't get out of there. Okay. I'm still going through money pretty heavily here. We'll sell that. We'll sell that. We'll sell that. Keep that. Keep that. So diamonds and skulls in the mod are worth more, and they're slightly rarer. Like, I don't know, 15% rarer or something by the drop pool than other gems and stuff. So these are worth 375 if I sold them, where this flawed is 250. So they're 50% more money, but all of it overall has been massively reduced in value. So some ideas that I have for kind of messing with gold is possibly kind of re-standardizing around the 100 mark or the 10 mark. And there's in Diablo 1, potions are like 50 gold. And for the first hour of gameplay or something, that's like a lot of money. And then it just kind of falls off, and you're paying like 10,000 or 20,000 gold for, you know, some kind of weapon or helmet. This guy like stuck behind the wall. What's going on here? I think he is quite literally like stuck inside the wall. There's some kind of desync going on there. Ah, I can hit him with the explosion. There we go. That'll do it. Some of the goals of the durability change is Smite will cost shield durability. You didn't know Smite by default actually costs weapon durability when you use it, which is super weird. But basically, they just check, are you using a melee attack? Decrease the durability of your melee weapon. And that's it. That's all they did. Which I know it's a small thing, and it probably doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it means that you literally were just better off not wearing a weapon a lot of the times, at least if you were just doing early smiter builds, low-level smiting type stuff against enemies. There we go. We got immune to fire. That's what I'm looking for. Ruin my day. That's what I want. Although I actually don't know how to deal with this right now, because I think they're all just doing minor amounts of mana leech on me. Although I'm not sure if that's the guy that I would normally expect to have fire resistance on, you know? Oh, it's a ghost. Why would it be immune to fire? I don't have guided arrow. Guided arrow might be useful here. Yeah, stuff still costs a absolute ton of mana cost. So we'll have to play it quite a bit probably. It's not in a state where I want people to test it yet because it's just constantly in flux. That's part of the problem of it. I don't have enough real time to sit down and change every little aspect of it. I work on it like an hour here, an hour there. Let's do something like this. And if we can get rid of the little dudes, maybe we can get rid of the little dudes. Like, these are Stormcasters. Why aren't they, like, you know, lightning immune? Wouldn't that make more sense? They're ghosts that, you know, shoot red lightning. At least I do just enough fire to... Did he really not drop anything? Was he too close to the edge? He's a named enemy. He should be guaranteed to drop something. So maybe he was floating over this edge right here. That's disappointing. I'm going to go broke using mana potions. Okay, let's flip these around. Okay, we're good on other stuff. I know this is not the most interesting game to watch. Hopefully my commentary and the actual mod is more interesting. Just because... Come on, back here. Where are you going? Come back. Oh, you're going to come this way. Here we go. The world is shaking. That's probably the scariest attack in the game. The lightning hose. Yep, there it is. Because the first time it touched me, it did like no damage. I wasn't afraid of it anymore. And then, you know, my hubris. Where you at, buddy? No, no, no. Can you not use that constantly? Oh. That is maybe a little too high a damage. Just gonna call it out right now. Just say that that's a little high, buddy. As of a note, that is half physical, and it ignores resistance. Well, not resistance, attack rating type stuff. I should have higher fire resist and lightning resist, but that is an ability you do not want to get hit by, just in general. Not sure the right way to handle this guy. Maybe explosive arrow. Man, he really likes to spam that when you're at a distance. Really, that barely touched me. I bet you do. Hey, Diablo, can you not use that over and over? That'd be great. See, the edge of that doesn't hurt you. It's like desync from the actual, like, projectile. So, like, I was standing here. If I was standing right here, it probably would have done no damage. And that's true with, like, the fire breath as well. I'm not sure what causes that specifically, but there's definitely, like, a desync between where the visual is and what's actually going on. I do actually have good fire resistance. Just putting that out there. Got 75% fire resistance. That's why the fire nova doesn't instantly kill us, but see, I barely even got tapped by that. Ah, just bracing for impact on how many times I'm going to die to that. My lightning resistance is 24. Not that that matters. Chance of hitting me. Average chance Diablo will hit you, 95%. Maybe not 95% would be good. We had this issue with Bale too. Or not Bale, Mephisto. Actually, the attack rating is fine. Attack rating 83%. That seems good. That seems fair. I do need more health. I should probably have way more health. I am very glass cannon. If I'm in the middle of an attack when he does that, I almost guarantee get hit. Whew. Would it be bad if I just changed that to pure lightning instead of half physical, half lightning? Is that a bad thing? Oh boy, I have no stamina. Yeah. The joys of not having stamina. Oh, whoops. Can't really fill my inventory the way I want to. I am thinking about doing a punishment similar to Diablo 3 and 4. Are you for real right now? Well, at least he's not paying attention. Oh, hey, look, a stamina potion. Where if I'm in the middle of attack and he starts that, I don't have the speed to stop the attack. Oh, crap. I am out of teleports now. Because I do fire damage, there's a frustrating situation here. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Yeah, he seems to be codified to do that if he's at range. I think there's 2 projectiles inside of that. So the closer you are, the more you get hit by it. If that's true, I don't know, but see, if I'm standing on the edge of it, it feels like the projectiles do like no damage, and so there must be some kind of stacking effect going on inside there. See, I just barely got touched by it there. I would love to just, standardize some damage. But apparently there's a bunch of stuff in here that's based on enemy size. So players are size medium, which is 2x2. Diablo is like size large, which is like 3x3. And I'm dead. And I have no potion, or no teleport. I'm going to kill him, no matter how long it takes. This is your warning to do whatever you want to do. Am I bad at Diablo 2? Probably. But everything about this has been changed. Like we've changed just about every item. that, how affixes roll. We've changed defense and offense with attack rating. We've changed how some of the enemies function with some stat differences. So I do have an 83% chance to hit him, which is fine. Immolation will always hit him. Ground fire can always hit. Fun fact, ground fire cannot cause stagger. It creates a stagger sound, but cannot create stagger. So ground fire and poison, both in my mod, will not cause stagger. So we're gonna keep playing with stuff like that, where different elements are better at different things. For example, lightning. Lightning is better at stagger because it hits more often, potentially. So, things like that. Or it hits hard randomly, No. I ran away before he even got to me, and I still almost died. Okay, can we not have things that, shoot across the room? Or hidden in my own fire? That'd be great. Luckily, he's not fire immune. I don't know if I would make him immune to fire or not. That might be too on the nose. But maybe he should be. I don't know. Just stand still, man. Just yeah, just stand there for a second. Oh yeah, I can do this now. Yeah, stand in my fire while you shoot your fire. Okay, this is broken. Whoops. That's sad. This still has defense on it, so 89% enhanced defense, because there's no defense on the item, base defense, I should say. That 89% enhanced defense will apply to my entire character, which is actually a problem, because that's, 89% global enhanced defense since I removed defense off of belts. So we don't have the space for any of this stuff. Master of Tetris. There we go. We did kill him, though. But yeah, maybe it's too on the nose, but maybe it's not too on the nose. Seems like it would actually be probably fine. Crystal Sword with negative 30% requirements. It's actually a decent sword. 4 attack rating would probably be equivalent to something like 20 attack rating, maximum damage of 13. 25% extra damage on top of the 13. Well, I don't need it, but it was nice knowing you. We got this belt. I'm not going to use it because it's technically busted. Literally busted. Block speed, attack rating, mana stolen per hit, and 14 strength. So, interestingly enough, block speed actually does work. I'm pretty sure this is true. Block speed does work on weapon block because it is a block animation, and so that is how it works. So block speed is a possible roll on claws in the mod. 14 strength is amazing. That's a lot of strength. 5% mana stolen. But yeah, this is a really good defensive claw. You probably would want to wear this on your offhand, so to say, in place of a shield. So it gives you block speed, it gives you mana stolen, it gives you strength. that kind of stuff. Now, the Mana Stolen would only work on hits from that claw. This one is... This is 20 attack speed. This is really slow, and this is even slower. But physical attack damage of 4 to 12? I'm not even sure what modifier that is. It must have rolled in max damage and min damage. What happens is they combine to create the adds damage. That's probably what it is. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's going to be really slow, though. If that had a percentage bonus, though, like even just like 25% bonus on the on that, we'd be hitting probably, what, close to 52 damage? Something like that. 48, closer to 48. But you know, we could get lucky and get like a 30% damage. That'd be super nice. Super slow though. Could solve my mana problems. Oh, let's see what this did. 9 to 20 cold damage, not bad. +1 to Thunderstorm. It causes monsters to flee 100%. I did leave that in for stabs and rods and stuff, so it's sad that it's ethereal on top of it. Magic damage reduced by 5. That's some good stuff on a sphere. It won't make your sorceress that much stronger, but it could make your sorceress that much funnier. Hit causing to flee 100% is just super cool. And I like that because, and maybe it shouldn't be 100%, but 75% or 50% or something like that. But that's super chill. Run up and smack something, cause it to flee. We got something that causes things to flee, right? Is it this? 18%. We see how much that works. Pretty good. Actually, let's see what these other bows are doing. 20%. -10 strength. Well, that's not useful. You got weapons of like spirit and, some other stuff going on here. Lightning damage, chain lightning. Nothing too good though. Battle staff, 1 to 81 damage and 15 attack rating. You won't be missing with that thing. That's right, they all have the bonus attack rating thing. They did that, huh? Damage reduced by 6. I'm just looking at stuff here. There's our belt. Bye-bye, belt. It was nice knowing you. We didn't even level up because we died so much. That bar, I think it stops at the bottom of the bar here. So that's how much experience we got for killing Diablo. I might want to make that higher, more guaranteed value or something. We'll skip the intro here. Skip the other intro. Okay. I'm going to stop it here. We did commit somewhere at least, which is more than we could say for some of the last video, which was kind of a little bit behind. Greater healing potion. Oh yeah, this guy charges you extra because he doesn't like you. I forgot about that. I don't remember what the actual number is though, because it looks like it's 80% more. Because that should be like 100. Pretty sure that should be like 100. So 80% extra. Yeah, that's exactly. He's charging you 80% extra. I love it. Little things like that. Again, not a big fan of it being on the potion guy. But I do think it's funny overall. We didn't level up. That's really disappointing. But that's because we died so much. So fair, I guess. But yeah, I think it would be good for the game overall. If you're playing softcore instead of hardcore, I think there should be some pretty significant punishments. And going and getting your body isn't too difficult, as you saw. It's still frustrating, and it's still like, you got to go do stuff. But having it cut the durability on all your items by like 1 or something, so you die and all your items take damage. Similar to Diablo 3 and 4, but it wouldn't be like 10% of your durability is lost, because that's the only way that those durabilities are lost in that game. Here it would probably just be like 1 durability is lost every time you die. So let's look at something non-ethereal. I'm wearing all ethereal stuff. That's not helpful. There's a reason I'm wearing all ethereal stuff. It's good. But you see how this is 8 out of 16, 21 out of 28. Like, these are going to break eventually. That one's insane and probably was a failed unique or something. Durability of 30. So you could die 30 times before this breaks. Obviously, hitting things with it is also going to make it break. So it does pose a risk for ethereal items to break. I am looking at potentially making some stuff. I'm going to sell this. I'm potentially looking at making some stuff. If it has negative effects and stuff on it, it should be like worth way less, unless it has like positive effects to offset that. Like, this is actually a decent amulet. But if it has something negative on it, I want it to basically guarantee that it's like 1 gold or something, and have gold be a lot harder to come by in total. I want you to just be able to afford your potions. I do have it increased in the first act, basically the first couple quests areas. I think it's till level 6 or 7 of the drop pool. Gold is doubled or tripled or something like that. But the reason for this is because the gold formula is based on level. And so enemies drop like level plus percentage value something of gold. And so you get into this situation where it worked for the base game because you move through it so quickly, of course. But I want you to move through it a little slower and a little flatter. And so I'm going to be looking into probably messing with the gold formula, the gold drop formula, and making it a little more like Diablo 1. Not quite like Diablo 1. In Diablo 1, you could only drop 1 item per enemy. So they dropped a scroll, a book, an item, gold, potion, and that was it. They only could drop 1 thing. And so it would roll through all the stuff, and then they drop 1 thing, possibly nothing. So I kind of want to do something in between Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. A lot of this mod is kind of a Diablo 1.5. It's not quite Diablo 1. It's not quite Diablo 2. Where enemies drop kind of a semi-significant amount of gold, like 30, which is what they kind of drop regularly. But they drop kind of like an item or gold, or maybe they drop a potion and gold. But they might be able to drop an item plus gold, an item plus a potion, but they're not dropping. So Diablo right there, he dropped like, what, 5 items, and 4 of them were rare and 1 was unique. The idea would be is unique monsters and bosses like that, like Diablo, would probably only drop like half as many items and half as much gold and no potions and stuff like that. And having different bosses be able to drop some stuff more commonly. So Andariel might drop like amulets and rings more often, and Diablo might drop, I don't know, swords and boots and helmets more often than other stuff and things like that. So you'd have kind of this targeted farm capacity. A little bit like an MMO, but not fully. Like, they could still drop anything. They just have like a double chance to drop something like a crossbow or a ring or something. And that's already in the game. They already have their custom drop pools. So I think Andariel already has a pretty good chance to drop good rings and stuff like that. So just some ideas. This is a game design channel, just as much as it is me modding the game. But these are kind of some things I'm experimenting with, and like, what if I were to make a Diablo 2 game or a Diablo-like game? Would I include durability? I don't know. I don't know if I would include it if I was building it from scratch. Since I'm not building it from scratch, I wanted to embrace the durability system. Since I'm not building it from scratch, I want to embrace the gold system. I just want to, tweak it instead of fully rebuild everything about it. You saw me lose stamina in the fight against Diablo there. Stamina costs in this mod are halved, but you can't get stamina from leveling up life anymore, from vitality. So, would I keep stamina in the game? Probably not. Even David Brevik, creator of Diablo, with friends and colleagues and stuff, he has said that was probably the biggest mistake of Diablo 2 was doing the stamina bar. And I would actually prefer to have all of this down here be a much larger bar like Diablo 1 or kind of like modern MOBAs or something. I like having things more closer to the center of the screen, like here or here, and less away from and less in the corner of the screen. Maybe the top left corner, because that is how Americans and Europeans read. So we do tend to look at like the top left of things, the F pattern of search and search results, where people, search on Google or something. You're going to look at like the first thing, you're going to read it all the way across. And you're going to look at the second thing, you're going to read it like halfway across. You're going to look at the third thing, fourth thing, whatever. And so it kind of creates this triangle or F pattern of how we tend to skim our eyesight on things. Anyways, UI UX. I'm not a super UI UX person, but I have read pieces and bits in context to understanding a little bit of how it works. So not intended to be a perfect lecture there. Anyways, until next time, hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.